State of Origin NRL fans, you are in for a treat today. Welcome back, guys. SmartB bringing back State of Origin NRL fantasy. And what's going to happen today is I'm going to pick my team, the winning team. Burgz will pick his team, and Turtles will show us his Queensland bias on show and pick a roster there too. Now, boys, I think I know which way we're going to go here, but I'm going to ask for score predictions to start us off.
Mate, I'll get onto that first. New South Wales are getting the victory here. They can't let it slip this time, but I think it'll be a grindy, gritty little affair. We've seen a lot of points in the first couple of games, but I expect the Blues to win here about 16-8. I think I've seen Queensland struggle to score points. I think it'll continue in this game.
Man, I agree that it's going to be a gritty game, but you got one major thing wrong there. Queensland's going to win. The sad news about Munster's dad passing, I think the boys are going to actually back him up. They're going to rally. We're going to have a huge game out of Munster here. Just in case he doesn't play, I heard there's news that maybe Reece Walsh will jump in, which I'm not really a big fan of. I feel like Ezra Mann might do that position a little bit better. But if Munster plays, I think we win. I think the prediction for the score would probably be about 26-28 to 20. Let's go.
Wow.
Queensland, obviously.
Big shootout there. Okay. See, I'm going the Blues here for sure. I reckon the Blues get up. And as I think about this, the more I think about it, the bigger the scoreline gets. Now, this is different from our pregame chat, but I'm thinking 38-10. The Blues get up. I think the emotion of the moment will be big. You know, it's going to be a big game, big decider in New South Wales. I'll be there cheering them on as well. And I think that's going to be the difference on this game. Burgz and I sitting on the sideline and yelling out our love. Now, boys, let's tear into these teams, and my bias is going to be on show here. Guys, by the way, if you do want to play at home, top 5 scorers for Origin Fantasy win an Origin jersey. Right now, only 10 people are registered. So if you registered right now at the state as it is, you're looking at basically a 50% chance of winning a jersey. It's going to be more than that as we go along, but it's a great shot at winning an Origin jersey or potentially another jersey if you're choosing here. Now, let's turn to my side here, and I'm going to firstly switch a little filter on for New South Wales Blues because that's really what I'm doing here. I'm grabbing Brian To'o in the back line there. I wish I could take Kraz. I'm going Dylan Edwards at the fullback spot. I want that 200-meter bonus. The back 3 for the Blues. I am not even considering this. These 3 are must-haves in my side. And then if we could take a look down the list here, I'll take Latrell Mitchell 100%. And I will diversify a tiny bit here and switch that little filter off. And I'll grab the Hammer as well. I think Hammer playing at fullback, it's a big test, man. It's a big test for him. Like, can he step up in that role? A lot of people have been critical of him, but I think he pumps out a bunch of meters here. And I don't know. I just think whenever he's doubted, he steps up. So I'm going to make space for him.
You sure you want to grab Latrell Mitchell here? I feel like Toya's shut him down pretty well in both games, actually. Like, Toya debuting for Queensland, this is his first year. He's got one task, and it's to contain Latrell Mitchell, and he's done so in the past 2 games.
Look, athletically, he can handle him, but this is a big game, man. And just because you've said that, I'm going Latrell Mitchell vice captain. We're doubling down.
Fair cop.
The back 5 full of big game players. I just don't love the Hammer, to tell you the truth. I struggle to see where he's going to fit in this attack for the Queensland team, especially if they won't get the rub of the green from the ref. I think the Blues are going to be able to dominate quite heavily, and I don't really see the Hammer making too much of an impact.
You look, unfortunately, when I search referee, he doesn't appear in the Queensland team list, but
True.
It certainly was a major part of it game 2.
I already sent him $100, so we're getting the rub of the green. It's already locked in, and DCE had a private meeting with him, so we're all set.
Take the big bucks for the ref there. Let's keep tearing through my team, and then I'll give you guys a shot at making your own as well. So in the halves spot, it's a big decision. Obviously, if Ezra Mann comes in, that's something you have to consider as well. Definitely a guy you might talk about if there was a big shootout in this game. I think Nathan Cleary has to be selected. He just gets it done in so many ways. And game 2, by the way, he was shocking. He was shocking for fantasy. His score was so low in game 2. And I think I had him as captain or maybe vice captain. And it was the end of me. So anti-potting the Cleary captaincy is not a bad choice at all. But I'm going to pick him on my side. And then it's just a choice between Munster or Luai. And as much as I do think the Blues get up, I can't disrespect my boy Cam Munster. He's done it for me all year. I think he's going to have his moments. I'm picking a few key members from the spine to have good individual games. And I love Cam Munster, so there's a bit of bias there in that one. I heard you, Burgz. You're not a fan.
Well, I'm just a bit. You didn't mention the second best half in the game, and it's Tom Dearden. So I'm just baffled as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, yep.
I think Tom Dearden needs some respect. You're putting a stain on his name. Not even giving him a mention.
Look, I'm going to back my big bias for Cam Munster. Everyone who knows my fantasy team knows I'm a big Munster guy. Now, ripping through, let's go into the forward pack here in the back row. And back row, a lot of work to be done here for Queensland. Carrigan's coming off the bench. I may still go Carrigan. Gus Crichton, I think he has a bigger game this week. I think he's been a little quieter in recent games. I think with a big attacking game on offer here, Gus Crichton has some big attacking plays. So I'm going to chuck him in 100%. And then we'll roll down the list here. Isaiah Yeo feels like a safe one. Just sort of plug him in. Ruben Cotter gets through his work. Kind of limited upside, though. Makes a lot of tackles. Gets that bonus. Trent Liero has been doing a lot of work for them. Nanai, if Queensland were to win, would be interesting. Liam Martin as well. It's a tough one. I'm not sure where to go. I'm probably going to jump on Carrigan to get through a bunch of work and Isaiah Yeo. I think it's pretty safe. 3 there. Crichton's the interesting one. But I may consider Crichton for captain. Then I'll roll into the rest of the forward pack here. And in the forward spots here, we got Grant, potentially Big Tino, Robson. I think Robson gets a bit more involved in attack this game. I think we're going to see him open things up. And if New South Wales is going to win big, then he's going to be a big part of that. And then maybe Max King in the starting spot. Josh Papali'i, that'll be an interesting one if one of us selects him. Let's roll back up to the top. Obviously, Payne Haas has to be selected. And then I'm going to skip Harry Grant for this one. I think Queensland get rolled in this game, and I've already picked a couple of Queenslanders, so can't take all of them. Big Tino for a bit of work there. I'm really tempted to go Max King over Big Tino.
What?
Wow.
Max King?
Or Hudson Young, maybe.
Max King played
Hudson
25 minutes.
I know. Look, I wish Max King would get 40 minutes. I like Hudson Young, though. That role in the middle. I'm taking Hudson Young over Big Tino. I'm doubling down on my bias here. That's all New South Wales right there.
I like that. I like that a lot. Big fan.
Big mistakes, mate.
I've got a mixed response here. It's so good when you're making a team at home, you don't have to listen to the hate. Yeah, let's keep rolling through my side here. And the rest of my side, I got the bench here. So I could take Harry Grant. Karaz, if he got in, would be a must-have, by the way, if To'o was out. Shane Hopgood, Big Tino. I'm going to stick with my antipod on those boys. So I'll take Ruben Cotter to get through a mountain of work. It's a bit of a boring one, but he can make that 50 tackles. I'll take Liam Martin to have a big game. I'm really leaning to this bias. Hey, I'll go Jerome Luai as well. Bounce back, a bit of attack on offer here for him. And then it feels sacrilege to ignore Big Tino and Grant. But at this point, I feel like I've dug myself into it, so I have to. So I'm going to anti-pod, and I'm going to go... Do I go Dearden, Val Holmes, King, Loiero? Might have to go Stephen Crichton here for that final spot and just really, really lay down the bias. And then I'm going to take Gus Crichton as my captain. I just think there's going to be a bit on offer for him. I think it's going to be a big game. So Gussie Crichton's captain, Tromich vice captain, and we have the all-New South Wales squad. Boys, 1 to 10, how do you rate this one?
About 3, maybe 2.5.
What do you mean? There's a couple of little changes I would have made, but I'd give you a solid 8 out of 10. A lot of New South Wales flavour in there, and I think that's a good thing.
Right, so combined, I have an 11.5 out of 10, which is pretty sweet. So, or 10.5 out of 10. So I'll take that. That's my side. Now let's rip into the next team. We're jumping into Turtles' side here.
Oh, let's go. Look, I think Queensland's going to win, but you can't avoid getting Brian To'o. So both games he's ran over 200 meters. So we get bonus points in this game. So if you run 200 meters or more, so that's an easy one to get. Latrell Mitchell, I feel like he's going to get nulled by Toya. He has one job and just has to shut Latrell. I'm not picking Latrell. I think the hammer.
Latrell. Decider.
No.
Wales, big game up against the rookie.
Latrell, nah. he's like we saw Turbo come into some form at the centers, but I haven't seen it from Latrell, and he doesn't get a lot of games at center anymore because he's at fullback, and I don't know if he's going to reignite that I don't know origin spirit that he used to have. I'm anti-podding Latrell. If you're going to anti-pod Tino,
Wow.
I'm allowed to anti-pod Latrell.
Burgz, I need to know what you think of this, mate.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous to not take one of the best big game players in the competition in one of the biggest games of the year. But you do you, Turtle. You do you.
To fill the rest of my back line, can I grab Shibasaki, please? So big game coming on the left edge. He's on debut. This is going to be my ultimate pod. I don't think many people will be picking Shibasaki.
Wow.
He's
All right, so I got one question for Turtle. One question for Turtle. You thought you're not going to take Latrell because he's going to get nullified by Robert Toyer.
Mm-hmm.
Shibasaki's going against arguably the best defensive center in the competition in Stephen Crichton. Mm-hmm. Do you think he might not get nulled as well?
No. So I'll as a Broncos fan, I am very, very proud to say that the Broncos have beaten the Bulldogs twice this year. Last game, they didn't have Shibasaki or Crichton, but earlier in the year, backs against the ropes, I think Bulldogs were 7 or 8 in a row, undefeated, top of the ladder. Everyone's screaming they're going to win. They come up to Suncorp and get absolutely trounced. Like best defense in the comp, we put 40-something points on them. I can't remember the exact score, but I
remember that game well. It was all Payne Haas that led to that win. 100%.
But I'm pretty sure Shibasaki or Jesse, or either he did scored a try or he set up a try. I can't remember what it was, but Stephen Crichton, not a threat here, not a threat. Shibasaki on debut, he's gonna step up to this, definitely.
So how are you rounding out this backline here?
Moving on, I think it's silly to avoid Dylan Edwards. You have to have him somewhere on the team. I'm not going to get Lomax either. Like he's just missing all his goals. Everyone's just cringing. I think I'm going to round it out with 2 Queenslanders. We're going to go Xavier Coates and the Hammer.
Wow, very Queensland flavour. Also, just for everyone watching as well, you've got the guys on the bench available to pick in any position. So for guys on the bench, that's why guys like Hudson Young are appearing here. You could anti-pod the whole back line if you wanted to and pick some of those guys. But look, Turtles, this is surprisingly rational from you. This is not as crazy as I thought you were going to go. I don't mind it. Are you captaining anyone in the back line, or are we just going to keep moving through?
I might captain Toto. I think that 200 meters gained is pretty good. Actually, vice captain.
Vice captain Brian Toto. Now, halves. Where are you going here?
Straight up, very, very easy. Tom Dearden and Ken Munster. No Cleary. I think random stats guy came up with this or something. It was like New South Wales in a decider with Cleary has like failed in the past 3 times. I think the last time you guys beat us in a decider, you had Moses or Cody Walker or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. The pressure gets to him. Like I won't
argue that Moses is the best Origin player in the history of the game. But surely
undefeated.
Surely you don't know anything Cleary.
No Cleary.
Wow. Oh, I'm going to be DMing you so much as Cleary just sets up try after try after try for all my New South Wales back rowers.
Mate, Queensland's going to win and those DMs are going to be coming to you. You're not going to say anything. You're just going to leave me on screen.
Oh, mate, I guess I'll be drunk enough to ignore it.
Let's move to the back row. Back row, I really like Hudson Young here. So he surprisingly gets a lot of minutes in the middle. I think he got more minutes than Max King. Max King only got like 25 minutes. But because Liam Martin and Angus Crichton play the full 80, Hudson Young just comes in as a damaging, athletic, ball-running middle who's like seems to be like an energizer buddy out there. So he's an easy one. My other 2, I'm thinking I'm a little bit worried about this pick, but Nanai.
Wow, off the bench.
Off the bench, I feel like he's going to cheeky try in him. Like I'm backing that Cowboys combination between him and Dearden. And yeah, I just feel like the minutes were a bit really, really weird last game, even though we won. Even though you scored more tries, we still won. I feel like the minutes are going to change this game. So I feel like Nana is going to get a little bit more involved, and there might be an injury somewhere. There's usually is in a game 3 decider. So the last one for my back line, can I pick Yo? Yeah, I can. Yeah, can I have Yo?
Isaiah, yep. You got him.
Yeah,
Back row.
Yep, got to be a little bit rational here, so needs a little bit of flavor. Front row, it's easy ones with Payne Haas and Harry Grant. I think Harry Grant played the full 80 last game, so you get, was it bonus points for 50 tackles, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so straight up the middle, 50 tackles, easy points there. And here's a spicy one, Lindsay Collins.
Lindsay Collins. I fell for that trap game 1, thinking he might come on and play more minutes. He was hopeless for my side. 7.4%. He's much more popular than your pod Shibasaki. But still a big pod. What are you thinking here for minutes? Does he grab a try? Is that where you're going with this?
I feel like we all have a memory of him out jumping James Tedesco and scoring a try.
I wish we didn't.
So this is a big game decider, and you can rely on Lindsay Collins to step up here. And like I said earlier, I feel like the minutes were a bit shaky in the second game, but I feel like Billy might lean towards some of his more professional, older players, like more experienced players, should I say. So I don't feel like Kurt Mann and Trent Liero are going to be getting as much minutes as they did in game 2. So last spots in the interchange. How many spots did we get?
You got 4 interchange slots. 4, yeah.
Yep. So can't go wrong with Tino.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with Tino. Big game from him. We get Carrigan. I don't think we have him yet.
Carrigan, yep. Very Queensland bias here so far. Gonna pick any blues or?
One more Queenslander, Val Holmes, because we're going to be kicking 500 goals. Keep scoring tries. Goals come with it.
Well, only you guys get goals as well. So.
And then lastly, just because you had me a little bit worried, I'm going to pick Nathan Cleary.
Oh, yeah, you coward. You coward. Taking Cleary. Wow. Captain, are you going to go Cleary as well, just to keep it safe? Or
no, Captain Munster for sure.
Captain Munster, not Shibasaki.
Yes. Nah. Big game. He's only going to get one attacking stat.
Yeah. Okay. Cam Munster's captain here. We got Brian Tor, vice captain. Very Queensland flavor here. Burgz, what are you giving this 1 out of 10?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think there's too many Queenslanders in there. Too many Queenslanders that are a bit, let's say, frivolous in possession. I don't love it. The Nathan Cleary pick at the end seemed like just a throwaway. I'm going to go about a 2.5 out of 10. I just think it's
wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to give this a bit of a higher rating here from my side. So I see what you're doing here. You know, it's very, very anti-pod. If there are half a dozen injuries and some unfair refereeing calls and some send-offs and that kind of thing, then this team could potentially be in the top half of teams. So that's the ceiling that you're shooting for there. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I think you're having a lot of fun with it, and you know that's the important thing for a team like this, that you're having a good time. Roll into Burgz' team now, and this is going to be a good one, I'm sure. Here. So, what are you thinking, man?
All right, mate. First of all, let's get rid of these Queensland scrubs at the back 5. Like, let's take all New South Wales back 5 because they are individually better than each player for Queensland in each of those positions. Like, I'm just going to say Lomax, To'o, better than Coates and Holmes. And then we've got Latrell Mitchell, Crichton, who are better than Toa and Shibasaki. Crichton, I know, not the best fantasy player. Let's be completely honest, but always steps up in a big game. Who is the guy who has scored try after try for Penrith in grand finals? It's Stephen Crichton, one of the most clutch players in the league. I think we could actually see him outscore Latrell Mitchell in this game. And I think we're all sleeping on him a little bit. And Dylan Edwards, the ever-reliable, man, the hammer is going to have 5 tries to even be useful in this game. So I'm going to be going with Dylan Edwards to get me my 200 metres. And same for Brian To'o. He's going to get me 200 metres as well. Always gets 200 metres every game. Such reliable guys.
Turtles, you can chime in whenever you want, by the way. This is
Like you
see
said,
you.
Crichton is. I agree. Crichton is an amazing footballer, but when it comes to fantasy stats, it just doesn't show. Like, there's a few players
Yep.
like that. Like, I think Nana is similar as well. It's just I don't know why they're great on the field, not great on fantasy. Latrell Mitchell, I've already talked about, and Lomax, he might score a try, but he can't even kick goals, so you're not going to get a lot of points out of him. You guys lost because he
That's
couldn't kick
okay.
a goal.
He may not be kicking the goals as well. Like we might be going with my halfback Nathan Cleary as well. You can put that one in there too, Long, if you want, because Nathan Cleary is going to be my halfback. I can't even dream of anyone else getting picked. This guy's the best player in the competition. Shows it time after time. Hasn't really done it in Origin. This is his time to do so. And to be fair, I'm not picking Munster. I'm going with Tom Dearden. I don't understand. Like Munster, I would say this year, and I agree with you guys, like been a great fantasy player. He's had a lot of try assists this year. For me, he's not really passing the eye test. Like I don't know why there's such this big hype on him. I think for me, I want to see more out of him. And I just don't know how he's kind of quietly had a good season this year without being, having this big game where he's totally dominated. I know they talked about him having a really good game in game 2, but I'm going to be honest, I really didn't think he was Queensland's best player in that game. And I just don't really see it from Munster. It's really sad about his dad passing, and no doubt he'll emotionally probably get up for this game, and so will his teammates, which I'm a little worried about. I will admit to you, Turtle, a little worried about that. But yeah, I can't in good faith go with Munster when Tom Dearden's sitting there and he's my favourite player. So
Look, you're a Cowboys man as well. Like that's expected. Yeah, you love Dearden, and he does clutch up at times. I'm surprised you didn't go the double blues there and just keep it going. Jerome Luai in that spot. But...
Well, I think we know about my thoughts about Jerome Luai, so as well. So it's a bit. It tears me both ways. I do want to go with as many blues as possible in this team, but maybe my overall dislike of Jerome Luai has caused me not to go down that route.
Well, let's head into the back row then, man. Are you bluing up again, or what's doing here? A bit more Cowboys bias? Bit of Ruben Cotter?
Yeah, the back three, the back rowers are all three blues. It's Crichton, Martin, and Yo. Got to go Martin again. Last year, and Turtle, say it with me, who stepped up in the grand final when they really needed a big play? It was Liam Martin. Another guy, kind of similar to Crichton, has played a lot of big games over the last 4 or 5 years, always steps up when it really counts. And yes, he's had a very quiet series this season, but I just think that you get him in that scenario, he gets the dog in him, and no one gets past him, or no one is safe when Liam Martin is out there on the field. Again, not the greatest fantasy performer, I will admit that, but I go for eye test and what I like to see out on the field, and Liam Martin is that guy for me.
I think that's where you go undone. Like Liam Martin, I agree, great player in real life, like absolutely superstar. But in fantasy, in a fantasy perspective, he's in the same boat with like Crichton and Nano and stuff. Like, just doesn't perform on the stat sheet.
I agree with you.
I think Liam Martin grabbed the double, mate. He's crashing over a couple of times. I'm with you there completely. Stand by it.
Yes.
Maybe we win 44-10. Maybe we bump it up to 50-10. It could be anything. It could be anything. All right, and the front row here.
Be anything over 36. It's about how many over 36 are we going to score. In the front row, I'm going to go a double hooker strategy. A bit revolutionary, maybe. I'm going to go with Robson and Grant, and I'm going to have Payne Haas as my third front rower. It was hard for me not to put Tino in there. I do love Tino, but again, it was just too much Queensland for me, so I just couldn't do it.
Beautiful.
But Tino does make my bench. If that makes it.
I do love your reasoning though. So bench, where are you going there, man?
The bench is full of a couple of Queenslanders. All right, like they did enough, and I like them enough as players so they can sit on the hardwood for a little bit. We got the Hammer coming onto the bench here, and I know it's pretty critical.
All that trash talk about the Hammer. And
Yeah, but
both
in
of
my
you, both
opinion,
of you, little
in my opinion,
chickens,
he's
you
cover.
back down.
No, he's cover. So, in my opinion, he is the 6th best outside back in this game. So I had to put him on the bench. Yeah.
Wow. I
So
can't
he
believe
didn't
you
fit into
back
my
down.
5. He goes onto the bench. Pat Carrigan. Again, I like this guy a lot. It's hard for me to say that I like a Queensland player and a Broncos player, but Pat Carrigan is just that guy. I know he's coming off the bench, but I expect to see some big numbers from him. Hudson Young, again, a guy I couldn't really ignore, goes onto my bench as well.
We've all
I just love the way
picked
he's
Hudson
been playing
Young.
this year. Yeah.
He's only 30% owned. That's a pretty big pod.
Well, he's been getting a lot of minutes. That's the good thing for him. And then also, I think in his performances, we've seen a lot. But I love the bloke. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal for the Blues this series.
Wow. Okay, Turtles. I'll give you first right to reply here. What do you think of this roster?
I'm going to go with about 1.5 out of 10. So no Munster. He's just lacking way too many Queenslanders. And as I said earlier, Queensland are winning. So if Queensland are winning, this is a 1.5 out of 10 team. Sorry, Burgz.
Wow.
That's all right.
He's got
That's
like 4 or
enormous.
5 Queenslanders out of like 17 or 18, whatever it is.
Yeah, which
That's
is,
huge.
I think they were lucky to get that many. I think that the quality in the two sides is just so sloped one way that I had to give them a couple of charity picks.
So, Burgz, from my side, I'm going to rate this between a 6 and a 9 out of 10, depending on who your captain and vice captain are.
Yeah, I'm going to be captaining the always reliable Payne Haas.
Okay.
Big pod there. I think he's going to play a lot of minutes, and then vice captain Cleary.
Pretty safe there. I'll give you the 8 out of 10 there. They're safe options, but I think last game we had about 200 people registered for this. So if you're trying to finish in the top 5 out of 200, sometimes you want to be a bit different, but you guys got some other pods here. Okay. Well, guys, look, as you're watching along, you can make your own team too, everyone. So just link in the description there, link in the first comment, jump on, make your own side, compete for those top 5 jersey winners. And let us know too, whose team do you think is the best? Was it mine ages ago that was the best one? Or was it the cheap imitations with too many mistakes made from Burgz or Turtles here? A bit of bias from me there, but let me know who you think wins. Guys, last word for Origin. Any other big predictions? Anything else you want to say?
Queensland win. Harry Grant's going to score a try. Lomax is going to miss 3 goals and cost you the game.
Wow. All right. There's a lot of predictions came out there. I didn't have that many lined up, to tell you the truth. Queensland haven't actually won a decider at ANZ since 2013. I expect it to stay that way with Ho'o grabbing a double. Again, he's going to top the try tally for the series. And then we'll go Tom Dearden to have 2 try assists, but Val Holmes to miss both goals.
Wow. Goal kicking on slander here. I'm going to say it's going to be a party. Blues get up. Big win here. It's going to be, hard fought early, and the Blues will break it open. It'll be my birthday. We're in a box as well. So it's just going to be a great time for me all round. Nothing sad will come out of it at all for me. So I'm going to say a great game. Anyway, cheers, boys, for jumping on. Everyone at home, jump on, make your team here, win those free jerseys. A few of you guys have already won jerseys. Also, with SmartB, if you're playing every week, they are giving away jerseys every week as well. So the Origin gives you 5, but every week it's a big thing too. Cheers, boys. Enjoy your Origin. Cheers, everyone.